I remember when I first made partner in Accenture, I had some really wise advice given to me by a chief exec that I was working with at the time. And he said, Jill, stop worrying so much about being competent. That's taken for granted. You've got to this level. Of course, you know, you need to do the best in every job that you get. But actually, now, once you get to a certain level in organisations, it's all about the relationships you build, the trust you create, and the influence that you can have. And I thought a lot about this, and I've always used, since that time, a formula that I found in a book, it's old now obviously, from Maister, Green and Gulford, called The Trusted Advisor. The formula is very simple. It says that trust is equal to the sum of credibility, reliability and intimacy divided by self-orientation. So what does that mean? Well, reliability and credibility are fairly straightforward. That's obvious things that people look at. But intimacy is about how much they see of you, about the style. Do they like the way that you are? How do they relate? Are they empathetic? And self-orientation is that sort of ego bit. I'm a great believer that the boss needs to be humble in the way they perform, and the ego can really detract from trust. We've all worked for somebody who's basically taken the credit of what the team's done to themselves. And, you know, I did this, I did that. And that's the self-orientation, and that does distract from trust. And I really see it a lot if you're working with people trying to help them on this. When stress hits, because stress tends to increase an individual's self-orientation. They tend to be much more inward-looking and much more controlled. And human beings pick this up in the body language. I remember a time when I was really stressed, and I suddenly realised that the way people were responding to it, although it was to do with me and my father and his illness, people were responding as if I thought they were doing a bad job. And so there comes a time when you just have to be very honest and open about stress. And I always encourage people when they think individuals are not performing, they don't trust their work, to think about the stress and therefore the self-orientation of that individual and try and make sure that they help people build trusting relationships.